Hey, it's James with Make It Happen Greenhouse, and it is spring in Kansas. The weather has just gotten warm, and we've now had some consistent temperatures that are above freezing, so it's really time to reset the greenhouse. So I'm just going to walk through real quick some of the improvements we'll be making, and then in a week I'll come back and do another video and we'll see how good we did. So first of all, over the course of the winter, I'll just say that the greenhouse has gotten a little bit messy. So you can see a lot of stuff laying around here, stuff piled up on the counters. The plants don't look so hot. And this is all just because we were trying to survive through winter. We had some successes, we had some failures. Overall, I'd say as a success, learned a lot and want to apply those learnings this next year. So first thing that I did is I redid the water system. Got the sprinkler system for the yard hooked back up, so we have this zone that feeds the water system here in the greenhouse, and that's just been updated with some new splitters and just some refreshed fittings and things like that. Some of the other stuff was pretty corroded and leaking a bit, so new water filter. So that was the first project to do, just so we had water ready to go. Beyond that, here's some things we're going to do. So first of all, the right side of the greenhouse on your screen, you see here we have this bed that's at ground level. So I'm going to build a bed not too much unlike what you see over on the left side, all the way along, running the whole left side of here, and build that all up. So I have the wood to do that now, so nice cedar boards. So just going to use some pickets. So I'll use the long pickets here, and then some narrow pickets I'll cut to kind of be supports and anchor those into the ground, and I think that'll work pretty good. So that is number one. So before I do that, I'm going to clear all this stuff out. I'll leave the rhubarb over here. This is going to stay, this little box for rhubarb, but I had planted some radishes in there and stuff, so we'll pull all that stuff out along with these tomatoes and go ahead and build that along the side. And the reason I'm doing that is because of the next two things. So when I put the greenhouse in, I used these kind of stair-step shelving, and found that it worked really well. I was able to get a lot of plants up here. The problem was access underneath, as these plants grew, became really difficult. It was hard to squeeze in there without hurting plants and things like that. And then later I realized I was going to need a space for tall banana trees or other tall plants, which you can see here. So I put this pit in, and I thought that'd be a good thing. Well, I had a couple instances where the pit flooded, and I had a pump in there and stuff, but the banana plants just suffered due to that flooding, and you can see I don't think they're coming back. There might be some green under one. I'm going to cut that and check that, but I doubt these are coming back. So that's a pretty big disappointment, because I was pretty excited about the banana plants. But we're going to pull this out, and we're going to actually cut away another set of the shelving here. So basically this whole section here will be cut away up to this post out here. I'll probably take out this riser here. I might leave it in. I'm still yet to decide, but I'll either leave it or cut it out. I'm going to get in here, and I'm actually going to double the size of this hole. I'm going to dig it another foot deeper. So I'm going all in on the hole. I'm going to line it with pea gravel on the bottom. I'm actually going to build a small little square that's even deeper, line that with a couple bricks, put a sub pump in there, and that's the way we're going to manage this this water. So, and I'm actually going to use a battery sub pump. So if there's any power outages, I won't have to worry about it. I use that as a backup in the house. It works great. So that's the plan with this. So the reason I needed to have this bed on this side done first is because all the spoil from when I dig out of here, I'm going to use as the base of this bed, and then I'll cover that with some really good organic, garden soil above that. So that's the plan. And again, my timeline for this is within 7 to 8 days, because I have some vacation here. I want to get all this done. So that's the biggie. So get this built, dig this hole, and I think everything's downhill from there. So some other things I need to do is I'm going to go ahead tomorrow, either tomorrow or the next day. Got some hockey to play tomorrow, but I'm going to start pulling these plants out. So the reason I'm waiting for temperatures to get, no lower than in the mid 40s at night is I want to pull all these plants out that I can. They're going to go outside, and I'm going to do, I'm going to cut away this section of the shelving here, but I'm also going to just do a really nice refresh. I might do a little painting, spray things down, and clean things up, try to get some of the mold taken care of. It's not too bad, but it just needs a refresh. So I think that will be pretty helpful. So once I have that hole built, in order to do that, I'm going to have to take out this little wall here that you see running. You can see behind the plants here, that wall runs pretty much the whole length here. I'm going to take some of that wall out to get in there. So I'm going to have to rebuild that, and I have some ideas or some designs to allow for a little bit easier access to the stuff that will be in here in the future. So once I have this hole built and everything, and the pea gravel lining it, and get all these plants out and stuff, I'm going to actually put a cover over it. So there'll be almost like a floor that you can walk on. So, and I'm going to have spots cut out where these banana plants or whatever can grow up through. I can pull that flooring out if I need to get access. But again, these plants will grow. But there won't be lost space above there where I can still put some plants and stuff on that flooring and in pots or whatever and pull it out if I need to. So that's going to be a big part of this project over the next week. The other thing is, you'll notice, I was using these colanders as hanging baskets, and that many of them have fallen. And really, when the pandemic kicked in, everyone went out and bought all the garden supplies because I think people knew they were going to be doing some gardening. And it's taken a while to get some inexpensive hanging basket type equipment in. So I have all the cocoa liners, and I managed to get a hold of some of these hanging basket kits. So I'm pretty excited about that. Anything we do now, as far as hanging baskets are concerned, will be in this. It'll look a lot nicer. It'll be a lot more sturdy. Won't have plants, dropping out of the sky. So that's a good one. So that's the big interior work that we'll work on. Once we clean it all up, we'll get everything reset. We'll replant. We'll make some determination and assessment, about the health of these plants, which ones we want to keep, which ones we don't. This year's focus is going to be on using the greenhouse as a way to drive food consumption. I would say last year was more about experimentation. Hey, can you grow bananas? Can you grow pineapples? What about olives? These things that don't typically do very well in Kansas. This next year, I want to produce foods that the family will eat throughout the year. So that's going to be the major focus this next time around. So that that'll change what I keep in here. So I have like lemons and avocado plants. I might cull some of that stuff out and reduce so that I can make space for some of these other things. In addition to that, just some general cleanup in here and freeing up some space. One of the projects that's in line with freeing up spaces, you'll notice I have these two big trash cans here. I think I've talked about this before. These are both full of water. I've used them all. They've been really, really a great way to store water. Use it all winter long when I had to shut the sprinkler systems down, and really only had to fill them a couple times. So it was really helpful to have these out here. But they take up a lot of space. So and real estate's valuable. So what I'm going to do is over in this corner here where you see some tools hanging, I'm actually going to build a second level or two-tier system. So we'll pull all those tools out. We'll slide this one lower barrel into the corner a little bit more tightly, and then we're going to build a shelf above that. We have a pretty big support beam that we're going to put under that, and we'll put this top barrel on top of that, and you see the drain here. We'll reroute that. So basically the way I have the system set up now is this one fills, it overflows into this one, and then I typically will take water out of this until it's empty, and then I'll move over to this one. I don't expect that will really get empty in summer and spring and fall. It won't be until winter that we need to worry about that, but basically this one will be on top over here, and it'll drain into this one, and we'll be good to go. And again, sometime in the future, I think I'd like to figure out a way to get rainwater in here to be a little more environmental. Right now I'm just pumping water from the sprinkler system, and that just doesn't seem like the most efficient way to do it, or most environmental way to do it. So that'll be a little bit of a project, so I'm excited about that one. And so let me just real quick, I'll take you outside and show you just a couple more things. It's a little windy and cold out with the breeze, but we'll show you those things and then we'll end it. So you can see I got a lot of bags of stuff here set up to get this project going, and I've been resetting the mulch, but you see I have these raised bed kits that I purchased. I got these at Costco. They're about 60 bucks each. I got 3 kits, and this is what they turned into. So I just put them out here real quick. I haven't like aligned them very well or did anything really. They're not anchored. I haven't even put the tops on the support beams, but you can kind of see maybe a high level view here that these are meant to augment the other beds that I had made out of wood. And the reason that I moved over to these vinyl ones is the cost of wood has really dramatically jumped. So between the cost of wood and the time and effort to put these in, I'm going to go with this vinyl. The white is a little striking. It doesn't really match a lot of what I have on the outside of the greenhouse. So, after this is all in, if it doesn't look right, I may go ahead and paint these. We'll see. But stay tuned to see what that looks like. And again, from digging on the inside of the greenhouse, if I have extra spoilage, that's what I plan on putting in here to get these full. It's going to be a real challenge, I think, to fill all this in with bags of dirt. So we'll refresh these this year. We'll top these off and mix in some new topsoil and get some fertilizer in there, some compost. I think that'll be helpful. Last year over here on this short side, we had some real great production of cucumbers. So we're going to do that again over here. I may extend this as the season goes on. I'm not sure yet. But one thing I am going to do is I purchased some trellising, some metal trellising. You can see it right here. These basically kind of are like A-frame trellises. You see I got these at Menards. And I'm going to align these along this side here with the cucumbers and probably some zucchini too, and let those kind of hang versus growing all like they did last time out into the grass and stuff where they're more susceptible to insects and just some general rot and getting stepped on and things like that. So I'm going to try to grow up versus out, and we'll see how that goes. So other than that, we're going to do like a big set of mulch back here, just give this a nice little refresh in the back area here. So that should just clean things up. We're basically summarizing all the propane setup. So this will all be, I already took the heater out of the greenhouse and just kind of secure this for summer. And hopefully we won't need this again until the winter. Everything's relatively full and ready to go, so I think we'll be all set there. But that's the update. I'll come back in a bit of time here, in about a week, and do another video and show you how much progress I did or did not make. Right now I'm feeling pretty optimistic, but you never know what can happen. So we could just get a ton of rain, or a myriad of other things can happen that would slow us down. But thanks again. Thanks for tuning in to Make It Happen Greenhouse. Hope you're having fun with your spring gardening and getting excited about getting things in the ground, and talk to you soon.